Hey everybody, welcome back. So I wanted to take this video and talk about something that's happening right now in my life that's also very relevant to what this entire YouTube channel is about. And that's about, introverts like ourselves trying to navigate the business world and be successful at the same time. So today I wanted to talk about what it's like to start a new job. So it's a big one for multiple reasons, and we'll talk about as many as I can today. But it's timely, and I wanted to talk about it while it's still fresh. So this is my start of my second week at a new job and a new company, and everything is different, right? So one of the first things is that I have to be conscious of and continually remind myself of is that it's going to be okay, right? No one is expecting everything from you right out of the gate. And from introverts, especially, anxiety is more common with our personality types. So we have to be more aware of what's going on and try to help ourselves combat this and work through it. And so before we even get to that, right? So what was it like trying to leave my last job, my last role that I was with for over 6 years and make the move to a new role? And so giving a 2 weeks notice, right? It's pretty standard. No, it's not required. Legally, it's not required, but it's basically like a show of good faith to say, hey, I'm going to be departing the company. I'm going to give you 2 weeks of my time to help with transitions before my last day. And that's what I did. And my manager was great about it. He understood what was going on, and he wanted me to serve those 2 weeks. So in that time frame, right, there's a lot of emotions because there's so much leading up to that. And what happens with trying to find a new role or making the decision to move to a new role at a new company takes months and months and months. For me, it took over 10 months, probably closer to a year, to realize, right, that I need to start looking for myself, for my career growth, for my personal growth, my health, my family, and all of those things put together outweighed the easier decision, the less painful decision, the least anxiety-filled decision of staying, right? And so it took that long for me to realize, okay, I need to do this. So doing the 2 weeks, right? I'm going to fill out the 2 weeks, but throughout those 2 weeks, right, a lot of emotions are going through. What am I going to tell people? How am I going to tell people that I'm leaving? I've built a lot of great relationships at my last role in my last company, and that was really hard to say goodbye or goodbye for now, however you want to look at it. But it needed to be done. And I think one of the things that helped me a little bit, more so like a growth opportunity, was me picking up the phone and calling people, right? And have them hear my voice and have me hear their voice as I was explaining to them that I'm leaving the company and I'm moving on to another role. And the other piece was drafting emails, right? Some of them were bulk emails to hit a lot of people at once. Some of them were individual emails depending on the type of relationship that I had with them at the company. But all of those things would have been so much easier to just not do for me, right? Because it's easier for me to stay quiet. It's easier for me to just not talk to anybody. It's easier for me to not have the feedback or the criticism or someone get upset or someone get angry at me because I'm leaving. But I did it anyway because I made my mind up. I was already leaving. I put my 2 weeks in. I had my last date on the calendar and it was going to be done. So having those definite points or those milestones really helped me take action because I knew it was coming, right? So even if it's not in this particular situation, one of the analogies that I can think of that would put us in similar situations is like project deadlines, right? Some people work with deadlines and some people don't, just depending on the nature of their job. I typically didn't work with deadlines very often, but when I did have a deadline, it did help me, commit to reaching out to others, asking for feedback, asking for help. And so this whole period of putting in the 2 weeks with my last day was very similar. So I got through it, right? That weekend was my weekend off before I started my new role. It was a huge relief, a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders, a lot of the things that I needed to leave behind were finally left behind, right? I was able to calm down, have a pretty restful weekend, and regroup and gather. And then the start of my new job, right away. Taking a short trip to meet my new manager in person, and then just starting to get the lay of the land, as you will. Org charts, role responsibilities. There's a lot coming at you at once, and anybody going into a new role, especially for folks like us, right? We know that it's going to be huge, right? There's a lot of information coming at us, and what are we going to do with it? We can try to take it all in and then start shutting down because there's too much, right? Information overload. You've heard of analysis paralysis, right? We get so much coming at us that we don't really know what to do, and it's easier just to shut it down. But again, this is about being in a customer-facing role. So I went from one customer-facing role, and now I'm in a different type of customer-facing role. And that first week, I was only really working with my new manager. That alone is enough for an overload, but I couldn't let myself stop, right? I know that I needed to make a great first impression. I know that I needed to start reaching out to some of my colleagues that I'm going to be working with and also make good first impressions. So there's this heightened sense of awareness when you first start a new job that you can't hide, right? You have to be out there. You have to even put yourself out there a little bit more than what you're used to, because it's kind of on you to make that first contact, whether it's an email or a phone call to say, hey, this is me, this is who I am, it's great to work with you, I'm looking forward to working with you more in the future. All of those things that are not part of our normal daily routine make it that much harder. But once those things are done, we cross them off of our list. Right, we feel better afterwards, right? When I do it, I feel more fulfilled, like I accomplished something. Like this was something that I did for myself, and I'm proud of myself after I do them. Do I want to do them? No, not at all. Do I want to send emails? Do I want to ask my new boss multiple questions in email form because I don't know where stuff is or how to find new things? Talking to HR, right? All of those things are very overwhelming. They can induce a lot of anxiety even before it happens, right? Because you build it up in your head. You got to do it. You finally do it, and then you realize, it wasn't that bad. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this today, with it being fresh on my mind and I'm currently going through it, is what is it like to go through leaving a job, starting a new job as an introvert, someone with a little bit more anxiety, and hopefully, right, just this short video has helped some of you kind of see the things that I've done that have helped me hopefully you've done some things and have experienced a similar role. And if you do, I want to hear about it. But at the end of the day, really the main point is to understand that when it's time, it's time. And just because that we have these types of personalities, right? These types of like internal struggles, that doesn't mean that we can't go after what we want and be successful and do better for ourselves just because it's hard, right? We can do it, and staying where we are just because it's easier doesn't make it the right answer. And that's what I want to share with everyone today. I did it. I'm going through it right now, and I encourage all of you that if you're on the fence, please think about the things that I've done, maybe some things that you can research to help yourself make that decision. So hopefully I helped some of you today, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.